Hi, my name is Ajani Pandey, and I am an 8th grade student at Cedar Park Middle School. I am so proud to call myself a part of LISD. During these trying times filled with unknowns, LISD has created a positive, caring environment to continue education. Welcome to Let's Learn with Bruce and Friends. Please welcome Superintendent Dr. Bruce Gearing.
Hello, Leander ISD, and so happy to be with you again today. And I love being introduced by one of our students, one of our fantastic 8th graders here in Leander ISD. Thank you for taking the time to spend with us today. So many exciting things happening across the district, even though we're in remote learning. We want to give a big shout out, especially to our seniors of 2020 as they complete their final semester. Lots of them and lots of our other students actually involved in AP testing this week and next week. Lots of great activities happening as well to celebrate their successes over the time that they've been here with us in Leander ISD and getting ready to launch into the next adventure that waits for them ahead. Want to shout out to our board members as well, who continue to do a fantastic job of supporting us in everything that we do as an administration. Looking forward to a board meeting tomorrow night, with budget workshop happening next week and our regular board meeting on the 21st. And with that, we're going to roll immediately into our learning topics with our friends. So let's go find out what's happening in Leander ISD.
Good afternoon, Leander ISD. Welcome to another edition of Hot Topics. I'm Chief Communications Officer Corey Ryan, and I'm going to introduce some of Bruce's friends, some of our Leander ISD experts to address some of the big questions that we know are in our community this week. First, starting off, Assistant Superintendent John Graham is going to be talking about the triple tier bus / bell schedule presentation that will be in our Board of Trustees meeting tomorrow on Thursday. The question is to John, what is the district considering and why is it considering a change to school start and end times? How did parents, community members, teachers, and students provide feedback? Again, this is about a 2-year process of collecting information about how we need to adjust or consider adjusting school start and end times and school length to be able to address issues in transportation and instructional minutes. And pass it off to John.
Hello, this is John Graham, Assistant Superintendent of Campus Activities and Sports. So why is Leander ISD considering adjusting its start and end times? The Bell Schedule Committee was charged over 18 months ago to look at the impact our current schedule has in meeting our students' academic needs, the impact to our transportation department, and our budget. The committee recommends 2 changes. The first is to explore a 3-tier system with 30 to 35 minutes between start and end time at all 3 levels. This allows us to more efficiently transport our students, and it provides traffic relief between campuses that are located next to each other and allows the districts to potentially have cost savings in the transportation budget. The second change is to add additional minutes to the school day. This helps provide transition time at the elementary level, and at the high school level, it provides additional minutes to stay in compliance with required course minutes for career and technical courses and IB courses, while still allowing our high schools to provide flex or advocate time. How have we involved parents, students, and or teachers feedback into this discussion? The committee has received feedback from stakeholders in multiple ways. We received feedback from a thought exchange. The thought exchange had 4,800 participants. We also received feedback from stakeholders in our district-wide improvement committee meetings and through principal meetings. This feedback has been valuable in the committee's recommendation for the proposed 2020-2021 bell schedule. Thank you.
Summer is just around the corner, and summer means reading in Leander ISD. Here's ELA Secondary Curriculum Coordinator Jen Abramson talking about the Summer Reading for All program.
Hey, y'all. Hey, all y'all readers out there in Leander ISD. Coming to you from one of 2 epicenters of all things literacy, the ERC, sometimes known as the SERC, Secondary and Elementary Resource Center. We are here boxing up and bagging up books for Summer Reading for All Launch 2020. We will be deploying all of these hot titles in 2 phases before the end of the school year. Some of these hot titles will be landing in our backpacks to go home with our backpack program. And then on May 26th, during the meal service lines, we will also be distributing books then as well. Come get your hot reads, Leander ISD. Looking forward to more reading reminders throughout the summer. And a special challenge, everyone, staff and students, need to check out a book on Sora, get your ebook TBR list rocking, and keep reading.
Remote learning has been a part of our everyday life now, and here's Executive Director of Curriculum, Jennifer Collins, giving an idea of what our teaching and learning team has been learning and what we are doing for remote learning right now.
Our staff and students have done a lot of learning over the last 6 weeks. As we continue to explore remote learning, we continue to learn more about strategies that work well to meet the needs of each and every student. We know that each student has unique opportunities in their home, that each student also has unique barriers in their home. And so every week, whenever I'm working with campus administrators or classroom teachers or our curriculum staff, we hear amazing ways that people are being innovative to be able to reach out so that students can continue their learning. We know that it hasn't been perfect. We know that it hasn't been seamless. And so we need to continue to learn and explore possibilities about synchronous versus asynchronous learning. The feedback that we have received from parents and teachers over the last couple of weeks has really helped to guide us as we think about the future with remote learning, trying to figure out exactly what is going to best meet the needs of our community.
In our remote learning program, we know that access technology and internet connectivity is essential. Here's Interim Chief Technology Officer giving a brief update on how we're pursuing improvements to our remote access to both technology and internet connectivity.
Our team is continuing to explore options for possibly providing services to families who may not currently have access or reliable access to the internet. We are looking into all options, including mounting devices onto buses and then possibly parking these buses in identified locations. And we're also looking into individual hotspots that could be provided to families. I will continue to update everyone as we have more information. Thanks.
We know that for so many of our families, help goes beyond what we do in our traditional schools and with our teaching and learning. Here's Executive Director for the Leander ISD Educational Excellence Foundation, Kristen Hughley, talking about the status of the LEAF Emergency Fund.
Hi there, Kristen Hughley here with LEAF, and we wanted to share an update regarding our emergency fund. Earlier this year, we established a fund to help Leander ISD families who are struggling due to COVID-19. We partnered with Hill Country Community Ministries to provide financial assistance through them for the families who need it the most. We wanted to share an update with you that we've been able to help 17 families with utilities assistance, 9 families with housing assistance, and 5 families with HEB gift cards for gas and household items. We are super thrilled and excited to share that update with you, but there is so much more work to be done. So if you're in a position where you're able to give, we ask that you please do so. You can look at more information at leaftx.org, that's leaftx.org/emergency-fund. We also want to encourage LISD families who may need assistance to reach out to their school counselor for a referral, or if you're a current client of Hill Country Community Ministries, to work directly with them. Thank you so much.
This past week, we released a report from our third-party consultant, Copia, who has been working with parents and our community to review our special education services program. Here's Executive Director for Special Programs, Kimberly Waltman, talking about the Copia report and how it'll impact our special education services.
Thanks, Corey. Many of you know that Leander ISD is a continuous improvement district. This means that we are consistently looking for ways to identify systems and areas that we can continue to grow in, just to make this the best learning environment for our students possible. Recently, our special education department partnered with our parents and Copia Consulting to identify areas that we can create an action plan for to continue our growth and improvement as a special education department. We have incredibly dedicated service providers, instructional assistants, and teachers that are ready to partner with our parents. Within the Copia report, you can see that there are 7 areas that are identified as recommendations from our community. Our team is excited to partner with parents. We're excited to continue and grow, and we look forward to taking these 7 recommendations to create an action plan for the fall to improve the special education department for our families, our community, and most importantly, our students.
Thank you to Kimberly and all of Bruce's friends and our Leander ISD experts for answering and responding to hot topics. Please continue to submit your questions into our Facebook feed, and we'll be sure to answer them at the end of our Q&A segment. Today, we have an awesome interview as part of our student experience or as part of our show. It's something we shot before all of COVID. So close your eyes and dream about a time when we're in schools and we don't have a global pandemic and kids are in classrooms and kids are learning. That was a time where we had Bruce going in to talk to kids all over the district. And we call it Student Voice. We turn it into a podcast. We turn it into a video. So please go back and look at all of the previous videos we did. Today, we're here from Leander Middle School, and we're going to learn about Leander Middle School, life as a middle school student in a non-COVID world. And Bruce is in another segment in the show. His name's in the title. He's going to be in a second segment in the show. It's actually really cool. We're excited to watch it. Roll the tape, Garrett.
Hello.
Hi, Jace. How are you?
I'm good.
All right, so you're an 8th grader,
I am.
and you've been at Leander Middle School the whole time?
Yes, I have.
Tell me what you love about Leander Middle School.
I love that it's just so welcoming, all the teachers and students here, just really inviting people. Further down this hall, we have the choir room, which it sounds like it's a lot of action.
A lot of action going on.
Doing something. Dr. Gearing?
Oh, yeah. Bruce.
I'm very
Nice to meet you.
They're very hard workers.
Oh, they're doing well. Love it in Spanish. All right, are we ready? Okay, so tell me a little bit more about what you see in the future for you in politics.
I'd like to go into city council first,
Okay.
as kind of like a gateway,
Yes.
and then make my way up.
If there was one thing you could change about Leander Middle School, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There are a lot of great things about Leander Middle School. If I could change one, I'd have more core classes, like things that'll help you discover your career choices and stuff like that.
Okay, so the ability to explore a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hi. He looks sharp, doesn't he? Hiya. I'm Dr. Gearing. Bruce, nice to meet you. Thanks for meeting up with us today. Chase, you gotta come sit right here. So what are you most excited about at Glen High School next year?
Probably the debate program. So I'm really, thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
I think you're gonna enjoy that. What about you? What about Leander High School?
The swim team and the IB program, because I'm planning on sticking through IB for the whole years, and then I want to get the IB diploma, and don't know what college I'm going to. I'm still thinking about going to the military first, and that because I know they'll give you a scholarship, and that's not the only reason. I've always wanted to be in the military. My stepdad was in the military.
Well, that is a noble profession for sure. We need, that's what fights for our freedom, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for even thinking about that. That's outstanding. So you dress incredibly well, and I've heard that you dress like that every day. So can you tell us about that?
I think it's always good to dress to impress. Not only impress my peers or teachers, or mostly me, because it makes me feel good and sometimes powerful at times. It gives you a little bit more of a confidence boost at times, so it's really interesting sometimes. I get a lot of compliments during the day, and yeah.
That makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So I bet there was a time when you didn't wear a suit every day.
Yeah.
So when did that change?
Well, I've always wanted to dress nice, like since I was like 3 or so. My mom tells me, and I have like pictures of like family reunions where I'm just like the nicest dressed there. And so
even when you were 3.
Yeah, but I think around 7th grade is like the first time I formally wore a suit to school, and it was a great experience.
So tell me about your wardrobe. Do you have like 5 suits hanging up in the wardrobe that you pick from and decide every day?
Kind of, yeah. Sometimes when you get like a full suit, I like to like switch things up. So I like take like a black suit that I have and mix the pants with like a blue jacket. So, yeah.
So I have just one more question. So if you were to give a piece of advice to an incoming 6th grader about what to do to prepare for their time at Leander Middle School, what advice would you give them?
I would say if you're stuck on something in class, don't be afraid to ask the teacher for help, because they want to help you. That's what they're here for, is to educate you. And so you need to be able to ask for help instead of like putting it off, because I'm sure the teacher will appreciate that as well. So
Some advice that I would give an incoming 6th grader is whenever you're feeling super stressed, don't let it like overcome your mind. And if you need to go talk to a counselor, you should just go. Don't be afraid to just go talk to someone, because I did that and that was probably the worst decision you could possibly make. Go talk to a counselor, talk to your friends, talk to your parents. Just go to someone that you trust, you know, will like not judge you for whatever your problem is. And especially go talk to counselors, because they're there for you and they'll help you through like your situation. To, one, help you get calmed down if you're really stressed about something, and two, help you figure out what the best decision is to do.
Well, thank you both very much for taking time with me today. I really appreciate it. It's been a very entertaining, wonderful time, so thank you.
Yeah.
thank you.
I don't know about y'all, but that was some much needed normalcy in just seeing, you know, a school function, and the tour of the school with Jace was awesome. I think he's going to be president of the United States someday, that's for sure. So we're on to the Q&A portion of Let's Learn with Bruce and Friends. And Bruce, we know that one of the big questions right now, the commissioner and the governor have been talking about reopening and restarting Texas, the economy, the government. The commissioner released a calendar recommendation earlier last week about what schools should look like for the next year. Can you tell people a little bit about what the commissioner has requested, and then just some of what people can expect from Leander ISD as we continue to build and plan for a variety of scenarios and a continuum of just responding to COVID-19?
Thank you, Corey. It does feel like a long time since we were meeting together in schools and talking to kids, and certainly miss that very much. The commissioner has been great actually at providing resources for districts, as well as providing lots of information and updates on weekly and more often calls. And so one of the things that he brought up last week was the idea of intersessionary calendars, which are aligned more with year-round schooling and provide for longer breaks in between shorter sections of in-person instruction. I think part of the reason for the suggestion and the offering is that we're not really sure what's going to happen in the fall. So while we may be open for business, we don't know if we'll have to shut down again at some point, or if individual schools might have to shut down for a particular period of time. And so creating some flexibility in the calendar creates the opportunity to perhaps have opportunities for kids making up days when schools have been closed. So we are not making any decisions about calendar for next year yet. We're making lots of preparations for a number of different eventualities with our proposed calendar as we start to think about how school looks in the fall. And we're really looking at a continuum of possibilities, all the way from being completely remotely closed and still operating in the environment we're in today, to some kind of a hybrid model where we have some kids in school in person and some still operating remotely out of their houses. And then that possibility that we have all of our kids return if things are safe and we get those recommendations from the authorities. And we're trying to make sure that we have plans in place for all of those different things to happen. We are going to try to communicate as soon as we can and as effectively as we can once we have sure answers for what that looks like in the fall.
And I think it's fair to say that even if we're remote and watching and knowing what the teaching and learning team is doing and what our teachers are learning along the way, you heard Jennifer Collins and Hot Topics talk about it. Even if we're completely remote, it will still look different than now, just because of all the learning we've had to do in this emergency situation for remote learning. Tomorrow at the board meeting, we have a COVID-19 update that will be presented by you, Bruce, and talked about by our board. In addition to that COVID-19 update, which people might want to tune in to hear from our trustees and to hear this discussed more in depth and in detail, we have a presentation about bell schedules, triple tier bus routing, changes to start and end time, a proposal that's 2 years in the making. So Bruce, what do you want people to know about that? And specifically, we got a question in the chat about, if we are to expand the school day, why wouldn't we go ahead and also shorten the amount of school days in our calendar, similar to what some of our neighboring districts have done when they've extended the school day and added minutes?
Yeah, so one of the things to remember is that we do plan calendars out ahead of time. And so next year's calendar has actually been board approved already. We are looking at adding minutes to the day to accommodate some of our specific programming at both the high school and then at the elementary level, to make sure that we have some transition times built in for our kids to kind of get their wiggles in, if that makes sense. And so those minutes don't necessarily add up to additional days. We have looked at that closely and have made decisions based on what we believe is best for our students in the long run.
So while there's definitely a transportation component in being able to be more efficient in our transportation and being able to be more effective, there is a learning component where we have specific programs and just the curriculum needs at elementary that we believe need more minutes when it comes to that discussion. We got a question, Bruce, about keeping the buildings clean. What are we doing to maintain cleanliness in our schools, especially for if we are in a situation where people can go back into our buildings? We'll talk about some of the amazing work that our custodial staff has done, really never stopping during all of this.
Right, and from the very beginning, as soon as people were out of our buildings after spring break, they were in there doing deep clean and really sweeping all of our facilities from one end to the other. Those deep cleans have been completed, and those buildings, of course, now have been unoccupied for an extended period of time, which really helps to make sure that there's no virus present in any of our facilities. We have had several facilities that have had some people in and out as we're clearing out lockers and making sure that those facilities are getting ready for next year. We have construction happening at some of our facilities. Our custodial team continues to follow in behind all of those intrusions into any of our facilities to make sure that they're deep clean behind people and make sure that they're virus free and ready for us whenever we decide that it's safe to open again.
Thank you, Bruce. And I'll take this last question before we go back to you for the final word and our final message. In closing, we had a question about athletic and academic camps for the summer. We're still waiting. You know, much of our district is still Travis County and Austin have extended their stay-at-home order. So we're still waiting on direction from the governor, from our counties regarding the safety with athletic and academic camps. So please, that might be a hot topic next week. Please continue to follow our COVID updates at leanderisd.org/COVID-19. Bruce, before we go to our amazing performance from a Vandergrift High School student who's going to rap in Spanish for us about teachers, can you please share some closing thoughts for our audience, our parents, our families at home?
Yes, absolutely. I just want to say how much we miss everybody. You know, the human contact is something that I think I certainly took for granted, and that I'm hearing more and more out of all of our faculty, from our teachers, our principals, our building level administrators, and our central office administrators, that, you know, we really miss being together. We really miss our kids. We really miss seeing all of you. And we hope that soon we'll be able to be back in physical human relationship contact, so that we can really get back to what we do best, which is creating community and being together in learning environments that are healthy for all of our individuals involved. So thank you so much for listening. And with that, we leave you with fantastic student performance.
Hey yo, es el drilo. Ah, ok. Creo que merecen mucho más mérito los maestros de todos los países y por supuesto de mi México. Les doy crédito porque han apoyado y mejorado mi léxico y ahora me ayudan para en el futuro tener más éxito. Creo que merecen mucho más mérito los maestros de todos los países y por supuesto de mi México. Les doy crédito porque han apoyado y mejorado mi léxico y ahora me ayudan para en el futuro tener más éxito. Quisiera describir mi aprecio pero mis palabras no lo permiten. No son suficientes para explicar que ellos no se rinden. No importa si sea secundaria, universidad o kinder, gracias a ellos el conocimiento nunca se extingue. Y es que combatir la ignorancia no es una cosa fácil, hay que tener paciencia y ser de una mente muy ágil. Siempre guardan la calma manteniendo la voz tenue y cultivar cerebros de sabiduría es digno de un superhéroe. A la escuela fueron mis padres, yo y mis hermanos, comprobamos que el futuro del país está en sus manos. Aunque muchos no se den cuenta de su trabajo, yo sí lo agradezco, muchas gracias por todo lo enseñado. Sé que aún hay que aprender muchas cosas mientras siga vivo y toda la vida les agradeceré su puesto como profesor y como amigo, algo como el estudio que para muchos es aburrido, ellos tienen el labor de hacerlo divertido o atractivo. Agradezco mucho cómo me hacen aprender y la paciencia que utilizan para dejarme comprender muchas cosas que antes no podía ver y ahora sé al derecho y al revés. And without the help of Miss Nazarene no sabría hablar inglés. Creo que merecen mucho más mérito los maestros de todos los países y por supuesto de mi México. Les doy crédito porque han apoyado y mejorado mi léxico y ahora me ayudan para en el futuro tener más éxito. Creo que merecen mucho más mérito los maestros de todos los países y por supuesto de mi México. Les doy crédito porque han apoyado y mejorado mi léxico y ahora me ayudan para en el futuro tener más éxito. Gracias a mis profesores de español ahora puedo articular bien mis palabras y hacer hip hop. Ahora por arte y música sé algo de la melodía, pero por español sé el arte y la estructura de la poesía y no creo que ellos tienen las felicitaciones merecidas. Sé sobre mi cuerpo y lo conozco por la biología y sé que las matemáticas se pueden ver todos los días. Ahora entiendo que las materias no son